Good morning, Akosena, and to Steve, Nancy, and the fantastic crew in the studios.
Mm. Well, he's joining us today to talk to us about their IT project. That's attracting the chairman of the National Democratic Congress. I hope everyone is well.
By the grace, everyone is well, as good as can be.
Mm. Well, first, let's start by telling us about this IT project that you've been working on. What is it about?
So thank you very much, Senna, and good morning to all the cherished listeners and viewers, those viewing online. So the launch we did yesterday was for phase two of our IT project. We had launched phase one in June 2024, and Honorable Joyce Mokhtari, Bawa Mokhtari, was the one who gave us the grace of helping us launch that one way back then. And this entire project was aimed at solving some very thieving problems that the chapter has had. Now, every organization that grows comes with volume. Volume comes with issues with efficiency, effectiveness in how you administer, how you bring in new members, how you process them, how you ensure that work is done very effectively by branch executives who are already busy with their own personal lives and jobs. And so, I mean, to give it context, as of Saturday, we inaugurated our 27th branch. Arguably, now by branch size, we are now the largest chapter in the diaspora. I know our colleagues, the next chapter I count with similar branches is about 21. But in the last 2.5 years, we've inaugurated 14 new branches with a few more to go to take us from 13 to 27. What that means is that whoever was administering or centrally managing 13 has now got to manage double that plus one, which is 13 plus 13 plus 1, 27. So that gives you a flavor of some of the challenges that we had from an operational perspective, an administrative perspective, and also to make lives of members easy. So in phase one of the project in 2024, June, we kind of launched a very brand new website, very modern, very secure, and that was launched to enable us be able to grow our digitization footprint. I mean by that, I meant that we put in a very secure website on a secure platform that enabled us to embed payment processing on it. So I'm sure members listening to you now across the entire country and of course in the diaspora know that now in Ghana you can pay your dues on the via the website. We implemented that here in June 2024. So that was phase one of the project where we built a modern website with a very strong, secure foundation that allowed us to then integrate payment processing, meaning a lot of our fundraisings for our 2024 elections, a lot of people's dues, registration fees, they could then pay online. And we also created an ability to register online, which some of our other chapters have, um, on our website. However, what that created is whilst these were successes, it led to a situation where once you went online and filled the form came to the chapter secretariat centrally, and we then had to distribute it manually to the branches, which was a little bit inefficient. Additionally, you could register online and then the payment made into a bank account and so on and so forth. So we needed to then cross integrate our application process with our payment processing process. And that's where phase two, what we launched yesterday, phase two comes in. Now, what phase two now does, it gives any prospective member of the UK and Ireland chapter, any member, a person who wants to join an existing branch or a new branch, a very seamless experience. It also makes the life of the branch executives very easy. Because at the moment, whether it's a Google form or MS form or even online, you get a spreadsheet. They need to work through the spreadsheet, identify who is new, and go and then sit with their branch executives to work, make sure it's approved. The experience we have put in here, we have integrated a web form, WordPress web form into the website and standardized and streamlined the form such that once a person goes on now, fills the form, the moment at the point of filling the form, they have to submit payment as well. Because in the past, you didn't have to, it wasn't integrated. So what we were finding was that People would go fill the form, and then um, because the payment is not integrated, you don't know who has paid or who has not paid. And it was a nightmare. And we had a lot of applications for that payment, which you can't process because they've not paid registration fees. Now, the form automatically makes the person have to submit payment before the form would be what processed. So you can't click submit unless the payment has been processed. And so everything is done seamlessly. The data is collected, a very short form. In a minute or two, you fill it, submit payment, you click submit, and in real time, a copy of the form goes straight to the branch. It goes to their brand new email box, as well as going automatically to a registration spreadsheet within their web space, within their email space. So all the branch secretary has to do when they have the meeting is open the spreadsheet, read out the names of the new members that have applied. Then the branch executives will review it, check that they are happy with the person or not, ask any more questions, contact the person, approve, done. So we have streamlined that process and made it easy. In addition, what we've also made quite simple is that, of course, the payment goes straight into the centralized bank account, which then allows for what centralized, if you like, accounting for proceeds and being able to then share them to the branches later on. The other good thing that we've done in this phase two is this. Historically, since I joined this party here, we've always had, of course, the secretariat has one mailbox, just like in Ghana, just like anywhere. And one of the issues we've always had is you have a situation where the secretary has to log in together with the chairperson at the branch level using the same password. Or at the chapter level, the secretary and deputy secretary have to log in when they need to together with the chairman by way of oversight using the same password. And that has created tensions where people don't want to share passwords. In the last three administrations, there has been conflicts between secretaries and deputy secretaries in respect of that. In my administration, certainly there was, and members, those who are close to us will know we have solved that problem. Sena. We have moved every branch and professionalized every branch into the modern world using Office 365. And this is embedded on an NDC proprietary domain. So if you have Birmingham branch, Birmingham's mailbox is now birmingham at ndcuki.com. Oxford will be oxford at ndcuki.com. Cambridge will be cambridge at ndcuki.com. South London, our biggest branch, South London at ndcuki.com. No more Gmail, no more Hotmail, no more yahoo.co.uk, no more whatever call it. Everything streamlined and professionalized. So when you deal with us, you know you're dealing with what? ndcuki.com domain. And it comes with an Office 365 suite that includes the email, Outlook email, which is where your automated application will come in. That includes Excel, which is where your membership register is automatically updated as people apply for you to then validate. Includes PowerPoint, includes Word, of course, and then crucially includes Teams. And this all comes at a very lower cost. We are saving as much as £60 per branch compared to previously where we had to subscribe to Zoom, the basic Zoom subscription of £150. So this brings in not just cost savings, but an efficient approach. Branches can now use Teams to host their meetings and enable the functionality where the meeting minutes are automatically recorded and transcribed so secretary doesn't spend time typing up. This is part of the professionalization. And the beauty of this email suite is that it is linked to Microsoft Authenticator, meaning as chairman, I register on Microsoft Authenticator and I can authenticate into that mailbox. My secretary can authenticate to that mailbox with his authenticator Microsoft, and my deputy secretary can do the same thing. At the branch level, the chairman can authenticate with his own credentials. The secretary can also authenticate with the same credentials. So it solves that problem of sharing passwords. That is gone. And it also creates what you call redundancy in IT terms. It means if tomorrow I'm not there, the secretary, the deputy secretary can still log in. If the secretary is not there, the chairman at the branch can still log in. And if any of them is not there, our central administrative team or the professional services company that has built these tools for us is able to reset and ensure that there's continuity. So no branch can be held hostage if any person decides that they want to lock people out. That thing is gone and gone for good. So this is part of the phase two that we have actually implemented to ensure that we are dragging our chapter into the 21st century, making sure that operational excellence is now happening at the branches. No more a lot of forms, spreadsheets everywhere. And crucially, these mailboxes also come with a terabyte of storage. meaning that every member's records are now kept on the OneDrive, no longer on a chairman or secretary's laptop, so that there's a risk of the data being lost. And this allows us to be GDP compliant in the UK. So at a high level, you see what we've done is streamline and digitize our form, professionalized our mailboxes, made it easy for people to come through, centralize the registration fee collection process that can be shared. And of course, in due course, we're looking to improve it to make sure that in due course, at the phase three, the funding will go straight to the branch. So at a very high level, these are the key things that we've been able to take off under phase three, which we launched yesterday. And it's scalable. At the moment, we have 27 branches. If we get 10 more branches, you simply add them, and then the whole process can work. In fact, you can scale this up to a national level if you want, and we've made the team a very technical team have who are part of members of the chapter kindly donated their time and their resources to make this happen. They are more than happy to support any other diaspora chapter to do the same. They're happy to even work if Ghana comes and says, listen, let's build something similar to that in Ghana. They are more than happy to. So in brief, that is the project. And I just wanted to have a shout out to my technical team led by my communications officer, Kwame Usua Chow, and Fifi Pare, Richmond, Dr. Bamike Rhymes, or chairman for Luton, and Dr. Bamike of Coventry, Emmanuel, Foster, Kiki, Ferdinand, all those guys, party members who have brought their excellent talent to make this a reality at no cost to us as a party.
Interesting. How vividly you describe it and the problems each of those things were supposed to solve. Only one thing I realize here in Ghana, one of the things we do, in fact, when it comes to your party, when they are registering new members, they ask people to go to their branches and go and register at the branch level, among others. Why did that? Why is that not possible where you are?
Fantastic. And that's exactly what we have facilitated. In fact, where we are is exactly the same thing because Article 8 of our constitution says that registration is done at the branch level. And that's why you notice that we don't say that as soon as you fill the form, you are a member. No. What this does is it streamlines and digitizes the data collection process for registration. So once I go in and I click the branch I want to join, Cambridge, fill my form, submit, Cambridge automatically gets a record of all the data I need. The secretary for Cambridge then calls me to say, attend the next meeting. They'll validate and then they'll approve my membership and I'm registered at that level. So if you live in Accra, assume this system was in Ghana. You live in Accra, your constituency is, let's say, what? Bolga Central. You fill in the form, you select that particular constituency. As you submit, the payment goes into the central account, which means that the national records can transmit that payment in due course in the constituency. But your application details go straight to Bolga Central. Bolga Central Secretary picks the phone and calls you up based on the records you shared, your number and everything, and says, listen, please attend our next meeting. We will vet you, validate that you are at least 18 in age, you are a Ghanaian, you are not a member of another party, and then we'll approve your membership at that meeting. So it's exactly the same thing we do here. So we are constitutionally compliant. But what we do is, instead of you filling paper form, after a while, we don't know where the paper is. And then we now have to tell Accra who is at our level. By doing this, the central sees a record of who has applied there, and when you approve, they will see it. And the local gets a full record so that all they have to do is decisioning instead of paper filling, collecting spreadsheets and run around. Everything is automated smoothly for them. The only job they have to do is, we've got a record. Chairman, we have 10 people who have applied. Next meeting, we vet them, we approve. Done. So it's exactly the same thing, but facilitated smoothly via automation.
I see. Interesting. And let me conclude by asking you. I realize that you've been inaugurating new branches since the party came to power. One of the things that comes with parties coming to power in Ghana is the apathy that sets in, because people then start having expectations of the party that I worked, I should have gotten this and that and that, and I didn't get, or they didn't give me what I want. So people lose interest in even working for the party, talk less of continuing to grow and expand. Do you have that problem in UK, Ireland?
Absolutely, we do. The same level of despondency and apathy running at the grassroots in Ghana, we do have the same here. Members have given their all. And of course, not everybody can be appointed, not everybody can get a job, not everybody can get a contract. So that sense of despondency and apathy is here. So that makes the life of the executives at the branch and chapter level a lot more difficult. Because now we not just have to mobilize and inspire them, but we have to also deal with the apathy and the sense of despondency. Yeah, so it's a clear and present challenge that we face as leaders. We do have the flip side where we have a few more people wanting to join us because we're a party in power. They say failure has no friends. Success has many friends. Failure has no family members. And so we do have people who join us because of our success of being in power. But of course, many of our members are a little bit, if you like, crestfallen or feel a little bit downbeat about the fact that expectations they had on appointments, and it's the same thing pervasive across the country, the average NDC person. But I know our leaders are working hard on it, and we keep encouraging our people not to despair, but to look at the greater good of what the great things happening in Ghana at the moment, and then wait their time. As they say, God's time is the best.
This time is 4 years. So
It's
God can
true.
delay for
And
a
we are
while.
1.5 years in.
You are saying God's time. This one it's term. 4 years.
You are right. And that adds to the angst that a lot of our members have. Many of my members, many of my executives who've worked very hard and are still waiting. We still have trust in our leaders. We know, as you said, we are 4 years, so we're effectively a year and a half in. And if you add the elections, our internal elections coming, it will probably take close to 6 months to a year of our time. By the time all that's settled, we'll have less than 6 months. We've had those conversations with our leaders, and we've been giving the assurance they are looking at it and they are working as much as possible to balance the progress of the country whilst also trying to tend to our needs. And so I'm confident that greater things will come. And our leaders know that if we don't motivate our base, we will struggle to have people at the polling stations to man the ballot come 2028. So I am very, very confident that something will be done about it. I've seen some green shoots in Ghana, and I'm confident that it will eventually percolate across the diaspora. Not just the diaspora, but across all the grassroots in various constituencies and branches in the nooks and crannies of our dear country.
Well, thank you. I wish you all the best in rolling out this project.
Thank you very much, my brother, and have a blessed day.
You too. Mr. Conrad Dumbah is Chairman NDC UK Ireland. Join us on the line. Good morning to Becky Stone, Peace Isabella Donani, who are joining us.